you shared with me part of your journey, and I want to ask you a little bit about that, because Charlie, you are a Chinese American woman, but you have an Italian last name. How did that come about?
It confounds many, and on paper people think that I'm a man, understandably so. I had a very kind of challenging and traumatic upbringing. I am the only daughter, the only child of the only son, and kind of by Chinese cultural expectation, I was expected to be a boy, and I'm not. And that was a big disappointment all around for the family. And so my paternal grandfather, who kind of had the honor and privilege of naming me, in his disappointment, gave me a name that meant nothing. It was just a combination of sounds, and it did not contain meaning. And names are important. Names are important in most cultures, right? It seeds the expectations and the hope and the blessings and the protections of generations and generations. And that was kind of a spiteful thing that he did for a choice that I did not make. So as soon as I was able to read, I knew that my name didn't mean anything, right? All meanwhile, my cousins and school friends had names that just had so much hope baked into them. And then later, when my parents divorced and my father sent me away to America from Taiwan, because he was abdicating his responsibility as a father, he sent me to live with strangers and to America, to a country I didn't know and didn't speak the language, and it was just 100% foreign to me. I was a teenager at the time, and first day, upon arriving in America, I was shared a Post-it note that had 2 columns of names on it in alphabetical orders. I knew my English alphabet, so I knew it was in alphabetical order. And I was asked to pick a name. And I was like, I understand why I need an American name now that I'm in America, but I can't read, so you pick. They picked the first name in this alphabetical list. Again, not a lot of thought was given to this process. So now I had this other name that, again, didn't have much meaning to me. It kind of anchored this other moment of trauma in my young life. So when I was 19 years old, I'm now a sophomore in college, I decided that I was going to name myself. I was not going to answer every day to something that no longer had a positive meaning for me. So I wanted a boy's name. That was easy enough, right? It was this like act of like, you wanted me to be a boy. It was so important to you, and I'm not. So I'm going to choose a boy's name. I will be this person, right? So Charlie came to me easy enough. And then now it came to time to choose a last name, which was just actually was a little bit more complicated because I didn't really know what to pick. I wanted something to be meaningful, but like adopting the last name of a writer that I admired seemed also a little awkward. It wasn't until then a professor of mine who I was very close with and was treating me very much so like family said, I don't know why your family treats you as they do. Had my father been alive, he would have been proud of you as a daughter. You can have my family name if you like. And her last name happened to be Grosso.
Oh,
so it was such a generous offer